Hello and welcome back to PixelMgc for another video on visiting cards. So as you can see on the screen, this design we are going to make it. How to do it, we'll tell you the step-by-step process of it. So let's get started. So to start off my design, I just taking an artboard of 86 mm by 55 mm as usual. So artboard is ready. Right now, as per design, I am going to select a hexagon tool and making the sides of it to 3 and just create a rectangle out of it. Using transformation tool, I just rotated it as per the design requirement and putting on to the artboard. Here, I'm just making it resizing. Just create a copy out of it, holding Alt. Yeah. Right now, selecting both the shapes, I'm going to do minus front using Pathfinder tool. Now I'm taking a rectangle to cut it the shape from top and bottom. The same concept, minus front. Again, I'm taking another rectangle to minus it from the bottom. Selecting both the shape, click on minus front using Pathfinder tool. Now I'm just created copy of the shape and rotated it to put the some kind of 3D design and shape. Here this part should be cutted out. I'm just taking an rectangle. I'm going to do the same thing again using Pathfinder tool, selecting both the shapes and clicking on minus front. So before that, I just created a copy of the rectangle because this rectangle is a part of the design. And for the shape what we have created, I just make it to move backward, so it's look like a shadow of the front one. So here I'm expanding the rectangle and add an anchor point and selecting the corners and using arrow key, left arrow key, I just change the shape to match up the design and again send it back by right click, arrange and send it back. So here I'm giving some color, little bit brighter one for the front and the little bit darker one from the back. So now you can see I'm just making some adjustment to the rectangle. Yeah, I'm reduced some part of it using arrow key. Now I've taken another rectangle to create the key structure over here. Reducing the size of the main shape, selecting the corners and using a right arrow key, I just reduced the size of the rectangle, the left side rectangle, and the right side rectangle what I'm working on right now. Here I'm going to create the key structure. For that I'm just taking a rectangle and create a copy out of it and making some adjustment in size so it will look like a key. This doesn't matter, means in which direction all the stuff is going to you are expanding in on which direction, that should be look like a key. Now I just selected all the shapes and make it unite. Here I'm changing some the corner part of the rectangle to smooth, and here using pen tool I'm just going to create shadow of the key so it will look like a 3D key. So while drawing the straight lines, I'm holding shift to make it perfect straight lines that would match with the path of the outer line of the key. So try to as close as possible. Better you shouldn't have any gap between the outer line and the said what I'm just creating. First part is gone and I'm proceeding for the second part. Here also just assume the distance of the set. It doesn't require much accuracy, as it going to display, or after print it will be displayed very in a small size, so some minor changes in distance doesn't just make much difference. Doing the same thing for the third part. Here I am going to use a darker color, like you can use gray or any darker color, but here I am going to use darker color of magenta, so it's look like part of it. I'm copying the color from what we have given for the shapes what we have created for here. Selecting the shape and using dropper tool and copying the color from the shadow part. Here I think I just missed something. Yeah, one small set is required over here. Now the framework of the design is ready. Now I can move to text part. So here I'm typing out the name of the person or name of the customer for which we are going to design the card should be typed over here. You can place it anywhere you want. After designing, it's your creativity where we are going to place the name and all the stuffs. So here for the service what we provide or what the customer provides, I'm going to create a bullet which will look like a lock. So I just make fill none and increase the stroke of it, and using rectangle tool I'm going to minus front so that it look like lock handle. Yeah, now placing it on the circle and it to look like a proper lock, I'm just taking a circle out of it, and by adjusting it to its position I'm going to middle part of it I'm going to do minus front by selecting both the shapes. And for keyhole, here is the rectangle. I'm going to do same thing again, selecting both the shape, click on minus front using pathfinder tool. Now selecting both the shape, clicking on expand so that while we resize it the shape doesn't disturb. So here I'm going to place the bullet which will look like a lock, and here we will provide or will place the services provided by the customer or the to whom we are going to design the visiting card. So here I'm typing out my services what I provide. Normally I'm taking it here, the font is Nexa Lite. You can download it from dafont.com or any free font sites, and it is free for commercial and personal use. So while designing a visiting card, just keep in mind for contents of the card you should take 6 to 8 points of the font size, and for name of the customer or name of the owner and the company name should be 8 or 9 to 12. 12 is not an ideal size, it will be a little bit bigger, so better to stay between 10 to 11. So here for contents, as I said, You can choose 8 or sometimes 7, sometimes 6, and for some cases we have also should apply 5.5 or 5 like points, and try to use thin fonts for the content, because if you use bold fonts it will be not visible after printing. It's not legibility enough to properly visualize the fonts. So here I'm going to add logo of the company. So here I'm using my logo, reducing it, holding shift and moving it to the design. So you could also place it as of your desired. It's your creativity, as I said. Whenever which place you like the most, you can put it over there. So here I just want to make some changes, that I just making the name should be on the key and moving the logo little bit towards the center, and here I'm going to put the tagline of the company or tagline of the owner. So here I'm just making some changes in the size, and here I'm going to put the phone number, the contact number, because this is the important part of a visiting card. Normally visiting cards are taken for the purpose that the man or the person should call you whenever he needs, or sometimes he can visit to your area, so you have to provide some address. So here for the front end, the front part is over. So now I'm just taking another artboard. You could do it from the same also, but here for the convenient I'm taking another artboard for the back side of the visiting card. So here the key is not used, here the lock will be used. It's a concept like you have many problems, but one key got all the solution. So on that concept I'm working on, making the back part a lock design and the front part is a key design. Here also I just used some 3D like effect. So here I'm taking a hexagon, which will provide a honeybee like format. So I'm just putting some gradient effect to it. And copying it out and making a abstract shape out of it. So these things I'm going to reduce the opacity and place it to the back of the design. I think in between I have some power failure, so we can see, you can hear the beeping sound of a UPS, and it's annoying, but I can't do anything else regarding that. So here I have done with the design and just reduce the transparency of the whole shape by grouping it properly, and I'm just making it to place it in a proper place. So this is a haphazard shape, so I'm going to place it all over the background, and I'm going to send it back of the design, back of the main design. So that's it. By selecting all the shapes, I just made it. By holding arrange, I just send it to back of the design. So I just make it some part to the outer of the card, and you can use clipping mask to do it. So here this part I'm going to copy it from the front end and going to use it to the back of the design. So I'm going to group it. Making the font to the top of the layer. Now placing the lock, yeah, like this. You can also, I'll provide all these symbols like keys and locks available for you to download in the description, and you can design your own visiting card using the concept. Here I'm just highlighting that many and one. By keeping in mind that you might have many problem but and one solution. So I just want to change the color of it. Yeah. Okay. I'm just making it to front. Yeah, giving some different color to the shadows as it was before. I think while resizing it, I didn't care about the shadows. That's why I just just make replace somewhere else, misplaced. So I'm just placing it to the right place. And on the front part, I'm going to extend it to till the end of the design, end of the card. So this is it. So here I'm just taking a rectangle to clip it, the whole design. Fill none and stroke none. By selecting all the shapes, right click, create clipping mask. So it will create the clipping mask so that it cut out the main part of the design. The extra part will be vanished. So here I'm going to add address of mine. You can use address of the customer for which you are going to design the card. Reducing the size to match up the design. I think that will be good. It will require some changes. Yeah, yes, this is fine. So here yes, this is the name of the company I'm using over here. By using character, just expand it a little bit. Here I'm going to draw a rectangle which will join to the leg of G to have some different kind of design. So here I'm going to use the location image, this one. These symbols, all these symbols you can also download from the links in the description. It will be available in another video of mine. So I'll post the link in the description so that you can download all the symbols used over here, and also all the symbols what you can see on the screen. So here I'm going to use the Facebook link of mine. So it is a save. I think it needs some changes. it has a white circle back of it, so I'm going to delete that one. Ungrouping. Yes, you can see that I just added a white shape so that the F symbol will look like, but here that design doesn't fit, so I just changed it. You can also change it because all the symbols are editable. So here is the Facebook link of my page. Using character, I'm spacing the horizontal spacing between each character so that it just fit out to the whole shape. That's fine. By using arrow key, selecting that using selection tool and arrow key, I'm just placing it at its place. Now I think the whole design is ready, so you can use a mockup file to represent like this. So if you like my channel and like this video, click on like button and subscribe to PixelMgc for more video like this, and if you want to get notification of newly added video, click on the bell icon. Thank you for today. Thank you very much and have a good day.